Jeff's Gravy Train podcast, son. We're live, baby. Let's go.
Let's
Welcome.
hit it.
Had a rough morning, huh?
Yeah, nice morning. Afternoon.
You sound better today. What's going on? Why do you sound better?
I don't know. I guess I've had some rest.
A little bit of rest, a little bit of practice. You got a microphone up next to your mouth this time?
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you can hear stuff.
Do I sound good?
You sound good, man. I'll tell you. You sound good. You want to tell anybody? You want to take 5 minutes and take 2 minutes, take 1 minute and tell everybody that you're on?
I'm doing that now while we're talking.
All right, cool, man. I'm going to give you a couple minutes before we get into it because I got some stuff to talk to you about today, man. You just bringing the heat, son. You just stay bringing the heat, you know?
Who else do I need to tell?
Whoever you want, man. This is your show, bro. I'm just here for the ride.
You're the boss.
No, man. I'm the producer. You're the headliner. You're front billing.
Oh,
you got front billing on this thing, bro. You're the headliner. Yeah, you know what the headliner means?
No, I thought
you know what the headliner means? The top dog. The boss.
The boss. What boss?
Yeah, so you believe me. You believe, man, that I went up there and there was 64 boxes of crackers sitting out there. 64 cases, not boxes. 64 cases of cheese crackers. Go ahead, man. Send your messages. Do your thing. Take your time. We're just hanging out. You did?
I did.
Cases.
64 cases. What are we going to do with 64 cases?
We're going to give it away.
What are we going to do with all that?
Well, it's like a, like a Cheez-It cracker. It's they're boxes of, in a box.
In bags.
So there's probably like 6 or 8, maybe 10 per case. We'll give out a box of crackers per household.
Well, you're good. You're good.
We're bad.
You're taking the day off
tomorrow.
So listen, man, I got some beef with you, bro. You're in trouble, man.
I'm in trouble.
You know, I was having a love. You're in trouble with Angela. All right. I
didn't mean what I said last night. I didn't know.
I was having a lovely evening with my woman, spending quality time together, having a great conversation, enjoying dinner together. About 7 p.m. last night. And all of a sudden, I get a message from you. We're monitoring Jackson County Fire and Silva PD as we speak. I get a text message from you that says, "Where are the women at?"
Well, you're good. You're good.
Why did you think you were talking to Sharky? You sent me a message and said, "This is my new number."
But Sharky texted me too, and I didn't know.
Well, you got confused or something?
What?
Oh, Sharky.
Yeah.
Well, I turned to Angela and I said, "Could you believe what Jeff just asked me?"
What'd she say?
She thought that you were trying to set something up and you got your days mixed up. Now, then you got me in trouble because she thought that you were trying to send that today instead of last night when she's gone. She thinks that you were up to something. Yeah.
No,
she thinks you're planning funny business while she's gone. Yeah.
No.
I did, but she doesn't believe me.
Well, I thought I was talking to Sharky, but it was
so what happened? What's the deal?
Oh, Sharky's
gonna what?
Send me a bunch of women.
Is he?
Send me a bunch of women. talk
Really?
to. That's what he said.
How do you think?
But I must have leave.
Well, how do you think that's gonna go?
That's all right. That's me.
How do you think that's gonna work out? It ain't gonna work out.
It ain't. I just told him. I thought I was talking to you, but thought I was
I
talking
see.
to Sharky, but I
I
was talking
see.
to you.
I see how it is. Yeah.
I'm
You
sorry.
got to talk to Angela,
Forgive me.
dude. You got me in the doghouse. She's out of town. Yeah, she's
I'll
out of
talk to
town.
her.
I'm in the doghouse. Like, bro, I don't know, man.
I haven't. With,
I don't
I will talk
behave
to her when
that
she
way
gets back.
anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I do the right thing,
I
son.
know, but that was my fault. It was Sharky, and I must have
You
put
just got
your
me
name
mixed
on
up with
Sharky.
Sharky. It's like, is that really? That's really how it
Yeah,
is, bro.
that's
You just
it.
get me mixed up with Sharky.
I'm sorry.
All right,
I talked
so
to Angela.
listen,
I'll
you
be
want to
all
get
right.
into what do you want to get into? You want to get into Dr. Brinkley? You want to get into the gravy situation from this week that took place? You want to show the gravy video to everyone that's watching right now? How should we do
Let's
this?
show that. Let's do that gravy video.
You want to throw that gravy video up real quick and let people watch that gravy?
Yeah, I love that one.
You do?
Everybody likes that stuff.
So, I mean, the name of the show is Jeff's Gravy Train Podcast. And the reason why it's called that is because you love you some gravy.
Yep.
And you'll take as much gravy as you can anytime you can get your hands on some gravy.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I'm about to show you is Jeff Jones guzzling a gallon of gravy through a straw. Now look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. That is a happy man right there, son. Wait, here's a close-up. Just sucking it, bro. Look at you. How much gravy can one man consume? So you got some hits on that this week, huh?
Yeah. On my. And Kelly.
I heard that this video right here is being passed around the health department. That's what I heard. Is that true?
I don't know if Kelly said it's true.
I heard this video right here is getting passed around the health department.
Well, I don't care.
You don't care? All right, so yeah. What you got? What's wrong?
I just text Lee. She's heading home there.
She's heading on there now?
Yeah, she's heading home.
Heading home. They get everything squared away with the vehicle?
Huh?
Did they get the vehicle all squared away? Do we need to get
I don't know.
Do we need to get Neil over there?
Huh?
Do we need to get Neil over there?
I don't know. I'll text her in a minute.
If you need me to dispatch Neil, I'll dispatch Neil over there. We taking calls today from the audience, or are we just grooving, me and you?
I'm gonna get on Facebook.
Oh, she's on there right now. She's watching the video. Hey, Leah. Hey. So anyways, Jeff, last she just commented, oh my God, she's watching the gravy video, bro. Talk to her. Tell her hello.
Oh, Leah.
We haven't seen her. We haven't seen Leah all week, man. So you got to catch up, you know, tell her what's been going on. Tell her what she's been up to. Tell her what you've been up to.
Ask her about the car.
Ask her about the car. So listen, man, I wanted to talk about Dr. Brinkley, dude. So we got into it last episode about what sounded like a tall tale. And that was the story. I guess we'll start with we were listening to the police scanner like we do here on Jeff's Great Train podcast, and we heard a 1050, a car wreck, a car accident. and I was on Google Maps and I was zooming around. I was zooming around on Google Maps. Let me see if I can find where it was. But I was zooming around on Google Maps and I came to an intersection. Here we go, baby. I came to an intersection. You remember this, Jeff? And it made me think. We were driving along on Google Maps, and we come to this right here, right there. There it is. On our Brinkley historical monument. Mind you, that's a nice pull-off they got going on over there. You seen that pull-off nowadays? You've been over there in a while? Look at that.
I ain't seen
I mean, the
new one.
monument's way out there.
I see the monument.
It's
in the
way
back.
out there. Yeah, look at all that parking. They got a portalet out there. I mean, you could go pay your respects to Dr. Brinkley if you wanted to. You know? So anyways, we're looking at this. I'm just driving down the street and I see this monument on Google Maps while we're doing the storm coverage and while we're listening. She said she's still in Whittier right now, Jeffrey. But and so while we're driving down the virtual map, I see this monument. It's something that I've always seen, but never really knew what it was. And so this is a memorial or monument put up. I guess was it put up by John Brinkley, Jeff? Did John Brinkley put this historical monument there?
I think the family, somebody in the family,
in memory of Aunt Sally.
Yeah.
So this is
that took care of Dr. Brinkley.
So Dr. Brinkley was born around here, and Aunt Sally took care of him.
Aunt Addie.
It says Aunt Sally on.
Yeah, he was born in Addie.
And I'm going to ask you about that. So hang tight. I'm going to ask you about that. Hang tight. But so we see this monument, and I just thought about asking you about it because I've always wondered what it was. And you go on to tell me. Go ahead, take it from here.
Well, Dr. Brinkley was born in Addie, right up the road from Silva. And he was a doctor in that bought a farm, as far as I know. And I ain't Sally Buchanan used to take care of him for years.
Go on. Yeah, go on. Tell us everything you told us on the last episode. We're just going to refresh the audience for people who didn't catch the episode, for people who weren't tuning in. They can go back and watch the storm coverage. But like, you shared some information about Dr. Brinkley, about him and his life.
Yeah, he was born in Addie. Which is down by up Scott Street. And he went to be a doctor, and he left here, and Aunt Sally took care of him for years. And that's Aunt Sally Buchanan. I have a letter here. My great Aunt Ida came from Aunt Sally Buchanan.
You have a letter that was written by Aunt Sally in your possession.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does the letter say?
He's just talking about her and Aunt Ida. That was close.
How they're good friends?
I'll bring it tomorrow. Let you read it. It's in the Jones family history. Okay. Yeah. And I think I'm kin to Aunt Sally by cousins.
You're kin to Aunt Sally.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've
So you've been told.
But that's what I'm told. And it's in this book. And then if you get online, go to Silver Herald Archives, type in or go to Google John Brinkley. It tells you.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it right now. So why is he important? Why is he relevant? Who was Dr. Brinkley?
He was a doctor and he was a surgeon and was going to transplant certain parts of an animal into a human being. And they ran him, he went to Kansas City. They allowed him, he lost his practice in Kansas City, Missouri. And then he went to Texas or Mexico and started a radio station.
He was putting animal parts.
And
He wanted to put an animal part on a human.
Yeah.
The gland of a goat. He wanted to implant the gland of a goat into a male human being.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's
the story you've been told.
And it's on Google too.
And so you told this story on our podcast, which I thought was just really, really very unique. It's a very unique story to have taken place in little old Jackson County. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he left here and went to Kansas City, and then he got lawsuit by the state and lost his license to practice medicine, and went to Texas or Mexico and started a radio station.
Yeah.
With Johnny Cash and June Carter is one of his first people, one of the few that played there.
Played on.
If you go on Google, if you get everybody go to Google Dr. John Brinkley, it's all there. And Lynn, yeah, that's John Brinkley.
That's him right there.
Yeah,
he's a good looking man, son. Pimping ain't easy, baby. Born July 1885. It says Beta, B-E-T-A. Where's that at?
That's in Addy.
That's in Addy?
You know what Beta, you know where Scotts Creek is?
I know where Scotts Creek is.
Beta, it's a Beta community. It's Scotts Creek and right near Tractor Supply. He's born in that area.
Okay.
Beta is right there in that. You know where the walking road is?
Yep. Looks like it's right along the train
road.
Right along the train tracks over there?
No, you know where you turn to Low Marks Pharmacy to the right. And go that walking road. That's all Beta community. Scotts Creek Church is Addy and Beta.
Yeah.
There's a train tracks. It's Beta and Addy. He was born in that area.
Well, I pulled this up because I wanted to inform the audience that you took a lot of heat this week. You came to work on Monday, and some of our peers, some of our friends, some people we know might have tuned in, and they brought it up to me. They were like, what is that shit that Jeff was talking on the podcast about Dr. Brinkley? And I said, yeah, the sign over there next to the highway, the monument. I asked him about it, and he told me this story that had been passed down to him from your grandmother. Told you that, all that information?
My grandmother and my Aunt Ida.
Grandma?
My grandmother, my granddaddy's sister, who was a Jones from Puckintown, Walter Jones. His sister, Ida Hanson, was good friends or were kin to her somehow. And I do have a letter in the Jones family book that has Aunt Ida's letter from Aunt Sally Buchanan. And Aunt Sally took care of, it shows you in that story, mentioned Aunt Sally as his housekeeper or whatever.
Kind of like
Aunt Sally.
Sounds like his nanny.
Aunt Sally was from Savannah. Huh?
Sounds like she was his nanny.
Yeah, his nanny or whatever.
Yeah.
Aunt Sally took care of Dr. Brinkley. And Aunt Sally, it was Buchanan. I think if a story goes straight from the Savannah community.
Okay.
If it tells the story, my Aunt Ida I've got the letter in the book. I'll bring it tomorrow. Show you that letter from Aunt Sally to Aunt Ida.
Yeah.
And I think somehow when I heard the story, we kin to Aunt Sally. This is her cousins to her.
Well, I mean, you're about damn near kin to everybody in Jackson County, son.
Well, the Joneses settled in Fort Tatum on Tatham Creek years ago.
Tatham Creek, really?
That's where my great grandfather, the Jones, settled there. Come from England and settled over there in Taylor Creek.
What did he
And
farm
my
up?
great, yeah, and my John Hampton, Aunt Ida's husband, used to farm, had a farm that used to farm and take produce and milk and meat to West Carolina University years ago. The cafeteria.
So they provided all of that for the
He
cafeteria.
provided all that from a farm, which is right down the road where Warrior Hut Road in Tuckasegee. In Cuddly.
Yeah. Well, according to Wikipedia and a few other sources that I have found, most of the information that you have shared with us is indeed correct.
When
Why
you're
would
good,
I
you're
tell
good.
you?
When you're good, you're good. Now, there's some details that were left out, and we're going to clarify those a little bit. But it seems like for the most part, Dr. Brinkley did do the things that you claim he did. Number one, he did transplant a goat gland to a male human being. He did do that. That was his gimmick. It was something that he was pitching and presenting. And he was also a radio pioneer. He owned many radios. He owned radio stations.
In Texas and Mexico, right on that border.
Yeah, and it's true that part is actually a fascinating story. This guy was like a rebel, you know. He was kind of like he pushed back. He didn't like fall in line.
PD to clear Andy Shaw Ford.
Where was that call to? I was
Andy
called.
Shaw.
Sample 25 Andy Shaw, commercial 1090, rear service door. I made contact with a key holder. They are not going to be en route, but they're requesting y'all respond out there.
I'm sorry, he's trying to break in.
Yeah, they had one at
Back door. Garage door, I think.
as a service garage door. They had one at the Restore this morning, and when they got there, they found a unsecured door, a door that was not locked last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know anybody over at the Restore? They left the door unlocked last night, bro.
Hey, I lock it when I go out.
Do you?
Or check the doors before I go.
You check them multiple times, don't you?
So I learned from the hard way.
Yeah, you did. You did, bro.
Leah's still with us.
Good.
I don't know. I think she is. Yeah, I think she is. So, anyways, yeah, Dr. Brinkley. Yeah, we got a viewer. He was a goat gland doctor. He did achieve national fame and international notoriety. But here's some details, Jeff. Number one, he did not attend any accredited university. He purchased his medical degree from a diploma mill. He purchased his degree. So he wasn't actually trained in medicine.
No, his
formally.
name.
Yeah, he wasn't formally trained.
No.
But his dad was also a doctor in Jackson County. His dad was a real physician.
Yeah.
So, you know, he probably learned some things from him growing up and stuff. And he had an idea that he was gonna, you know, put the goat testicles on to men. And he did that because of impotence. You know, it was like the Viagra of the 1920s.
1800s.
Now it was like 1920s. He got his medical license in 1912. This was all right. It was right before the Depression. It was right before the Great Depression. But he basically left here and went off to get his degrees and stuff. And then he like never really came back. So all the stuff that happened in other places. He had a storefront business in Greenville, South Carolina, where they did some things. They injected color water into their patients at $25 a shot, telling them it was Salverson or electric medicine from Germany. It was just food colored water. So they were like kind of like quack doctors and like, you know, what did they used to call them back then?
Yeah.
But then they left town because they weren't making any money. They ran to Memphis, yada, yada, yada. But here we go. Goat gland transplant. So this is actually fascinating, bro. In 1918, Brinkley opened a 16-room clinic in Milford where he won over the locals immediately by paying good wages, invigorating the local economy, and making house calls on patients afflicted with the virulent and deadly outbreak of the 1918 flu, which is something we heard a lot about during
The
the
Spanish
COVID.
flu.
Yeah, we heard a
But
bunch
it's-
of it during COVID, right?
Yep.
So at his clinic, he began to perform more operations. He claimed he could restore male virality and fertility through implanting testicular glands of goats in his male patients at a cost of $750 per operation, which according to modern times, that's about $11,000. So
more.
$750, the equivalent of $11,000 to get you some Viagra, some modern day Viagra. um, let's see. So it was questionable. A lot of people were like this, calling bullshit on it and so on. And then in 1922, he traveled to Los Angeles, and this is how he got into radio. Because he traveled to Los Angeles, a radio station owner or something challenged Brinkley. He was like, "You can't do that. That's not going to work." You know, is kind of what he was saying. So he challenged him. He brought Brinkley to LA and challenged him to transplant the goat testicles onto one of the editors of the Los Angeles Times.
Yep.
So you're an editor for the Los Angeles Times. She made it over there to Andy Shaw. And your boss comes to you and he's like, "Hey, got this new story. Guys putting goat testicles on humans. We're gonna give it to you. You know, we're gonna make you do it to try it out for a story."
It's
But
true.
anyways, he did it. He performed the operation, and then after he performed the operation, that drew attention from like Hollywood elites, Hollywood film stars. People started coming to him to have this procedure done. And he started making some money. But his procedure, the actual procedure itself didn't qualify under like the California medical law.
Right.
Like California didn't recognize Brinkley's license to practice medicine because he bought the license from the pay-for-play university. But somehow the editor got him a 30-day permit to actually do the procedure. So he had 30 days. He basically got a 30-day permit to do the procedures. He got a 30-day medical license. Could you imagine that? A 30-day medical license. They're like, we know he's not a doctor. He's not legit. He's not a doctor. He doesn't have the formal training. So we'll just give him 30 days. And then he just did a bunch of surgeries in those 30 days. He put a bunch of goat testicles on human beings. And that's how he got his idea to get the power. That's where he learned, because he went to that radio station and he saw what happened. He went on the show, did the thing, put the installed the testicles, and that drew attention. So he learned the power of the radio, and he was like, "I got to get into radio." And so he bought some radio stations. And like you said, he started in Kansas City, like the St. Louis area, I think. But like you said, he got run out. He started to get run out everywhere that he went. He had 19 indictments in 1924 to people responsible for conferring fake medical degrees and for some doctors who received them. Brinkley was one of the guys. So anyways, like he started cranking down and started like kind of shifting into like radio, where he could like go on the radio, answer questions, basically like be a infomercial guy on the radio, promoting. He was promoting his medical procedures through the radio and playing music and that sort of thing too, like doing the normal things. But they had all kinds of like medical question shows, the medical question box, where people could send in questions to him and stuff. But what was interesting was that he started battling the FCC, because the FCC had laws on how powerful your transmitters could be. Like if you own the radio station, you're only allowed to broadcast at a certain wattage, a certain amount of watts. So you know what he did?
Yep.
You know what Brinkley did? He went over to Mexico and he built a radio station just on the other side of the border, where there was no regulation. He could broadcast as powerful as he could. And he bought the most powerful transmitters that he could get, I think over 1 million watts, and started blasting. He started blasting his signal as powerful as he could from Mexico all the way through the Midwest of the United States. And there was reports of people being able to pick up his signal as far north as Canada, because it was such a powerful signal. So a lot of people heard his station. Go ahead, County.
21, please.
Uh-oh. 21. What do we got? What do you think it is? And so they were playing music and stuff, and he was blasting his fucking powerful signal all the way from Mexico up the Midwest into Canada, promoting his stuff, promoting his business and everything. It's just fascinating, man. It's like really, he wanted to, he had political aspirations. He wanted to become the governor of Kansas, which obviously didn't work out. But yeah, I just thought it was just fascinating. Oh, and then that lastly leads me to the Johnny Cash. So they had different programs on all the time, and they would play like music as well. And Johnny Cash didn't actually perform there, but it was where Johnny Cash first heard the Carter family perform or sing. He heard the Carter family songs. He was like, "Oh, who is that?" You remember, this is back in the day. This is like, early, before television and stuff, or right? There wasn't a whole lot.
30s, 40s.
There wasn't a whole lot going on. So it was like he heard her voice and he pursued her because he heard of her on Dr. Brinkley's program. So I just want to give you a big round of applause for absolutely nailing the Dr. Brinkley story.
Well, you're good. You're good.
Big round of applause, son. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, it's true. They read black and white, and I may get letters 8 salary tomorrow. It's in the closet.
I'd love to just read it on here for everybody, for people that have been following, what we've been talking about, and people have been following this story. I'd like to just read the letter on here if I could, if with your permission, of course.
Well,
not right now, but like, next time.
I'll have to find it and stuff.
Yeah.
Make it tomorrow. It's in the closet.
Yeah.
But that's a true story.
Yeah. Oh, it's a true story. That son of a bitch came from Jackson County and tried to put goat testicles on human beings. You nailed it.
And every time I see Sally's monument, I say a prayer.
What do you say?
I say, if I'm going to Casters, let me come back safely, go up safely, and come back safely, and let me go home safely. And it always works.
And you did a lot of work up in Casher, so you probably went up that way a lot and said a lot of prayers for her, didn't you?
Yeah, I said, just guide me up there, guide me back. Hey, Sally, that's what I say. Go by. I never fail to say that when I go by.
Guide you up there and guide you back. So she's the one that's looking after you.
She looks after a lot of people. People don't realize that.
Does she?
Yep.
A lot of families in the area?
Well, I don't know how many people knew her, but I knew of her through my great aunt out of Hampton, who was a Jones from Pumpkintown.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy's great aunt, and my great aunt. Because there's a big family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Joneses settled in, like I say, in Tatham Creek and then in Pumpkintown and all over the place. But our great grandfather came. He came from Welsh English. He was English Welsh. Was a farmer or something.
Do you know
I have
much
to
about
get the
him?
book out and say it again.
Do you know anything much
I think
about
it was
him?
I've got the book. But my granddaddy, my daddy's daddy was an engineer in the Army. He built some bridges here. He was
Did
an Army Corps engineer. That bridge beside, was it Harold Street? There's one of the bridges I know he built right there in town.
mm-hmm.
Or one of the bridges he built. And my grandmother worked the clerk of court assistant for years. So I got pretty good connection. I'm pretty good on history here.
Oh, you know
On
it all.
No, I ain't that good.
You know, people walk into that table and you tell them everything, bro. You tell them stuff about their
Well,
families that they didn't even know.
because you remember when you're in sales, you remember stuff.
And just for that, I
You
said,
remember little stuff about family.
yeah.
You remember the small things about families. You don't remember the big things.
And because
And
of
a lot of
that,
people I do remember.
yeah.
Huh?
And because of that, I say,
When you're good, you're good.
Nah, I ain't that good.
so do you remember how old is the Silva Town pool?
You talking about the old pool?
Yeah, how old is it?
Was it 20, 30 years old?
I mean, did they have a pool over there when you were a kid?
When I first came to town, I don't think we had a pool. But I can look that up and research it.
You could.
Yeah.
I'm asking because the new aquatic center has opened up and is ready. Did I lose you?
I didn't know that was open yet.
Yeah, bro, my computer is freaking out right now, dude. Hold on. I got like chaos happening, bro. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. I can't see you. I just went to I think my computer's locking up, dude. I think I got too much stuff going on.
You got a green screen.
I got a green screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like freaking out, bro. It's like freaking out. It's crazy that I can still hear you.
Smoke you another one.
Smoke them if you got them, they said, Jethro. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can fix this, dude. Get out of here.
Must be service.
I don't know. When you're good, you're good.
I see you now.
Yeah, but my screen is not working, dude. God. It's like flashing all these weird graphics all over the screen, bruh. I'm gonna have to restart my computer. Yeah, I gotta reboot. All right, we're wrapping it up. This thing's crashing. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon. We'll got another episode this week. We're gonna do it on Wednesday, Jeff. How does Wednesday sound?
All right, I'll look up the date at Silver Pool.
All right, yeah. I want to talk about the aquatic center in Cullowhee and see what you think about it. Being a tenured, long time person over here and all that. I want to
Yeah.
see what your thoughts are of this new fancy aquatic center we got. You know, $20 million.
All right.
$20 million we spent on it. So I want to show it to you. And I want to get some feedback from you on what you think about it. All right.
All right.
All right, bro. I love you, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Love you. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Next
See you
while.
tomorrow. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.